Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm just going to share a quick walkthrough with you of what we're using for our Bible study time. We are using Bible Study Guide for All Ages, and if you watched my other video for my preschooler, you know that I added this in for his Bible, but this is Bible that we do with my first, my second grader, my preschooler, my husband, and myself. Sometimes it's just me and the children doing the Bible study, but pretty much it's a quick, easy Bible time that we can just share together, and it's interactive and it's fun. And this is how we do it. So sometimes we do this as part of our school, but I try to just do this when it's not school time. So on the weekend, in the evening, we kind of do like a fun Bible time. So the way this program works is you use student pages, which are these here. Each student gets a student page, and the Bible lesson is just built right into this page. So the teacher just reads everything off the page, and then using a song CD and some timeline cards, it incorporates the entire lesson into the activity from a Bible account. So this particular program that I have here is the I believe it's the ages 3 through kindergarten. So Bible Study Guide for All Ages has different programs that you can get. So they have, I believe it's ages 3 through kindergarten, which is this here. And they also have a primary grades, which is first and second. Then they have an intermediate, third and fourth grade, and I believe they are advanced is like 5th, 6th grade. So in those levels, obviously, they're going to have more than just coloring, probably not even any coloring at all, but you can check that out on their website. So for me and our family, this is what's going to work, even for my first and second grader. Something that they can do together that doesn't feel too much like work. I didn't want to add more writing or anything like that to what we do for Bible. So this is the perfect age for us. So this consists of, like I said, the pages, one per child. I read along with my son. If you have a child who doesn't want you flipping his page over or something like that, you might want to get a page for yourself and you just basically read right off of it. My son doesn't mind, so I didn't spend the extra money to get the teacher's materials. So you need the student page for each student. We're on lesson 6 and the lesson is right here. You're gonna need some crayons. I have a bunch of crayons I have out here, the colored pencils I mean. Sometimes we use crayons, sometimes we use markers. But what I like to do for preparation, which is super simple, is just look at the Bible lesson and then just gather all the markers or crayons or colored pencils that they suggest in advance, and then just put, you know, a bunch of them, whatever ones they need, just right next to my child so they can just grab what they need, and then they can get whatever additional colors they want from the bin. But that just helps with like fighting about who has what, whose pencil is sharpened and whose is dull, just sibling stuff that comes up no matter what activity we're doing. So I just try to do that in advance. And the other thing I do is I pull out the timeline cards that we need in advance. We're only on lesson 6, so we've only, by this point, only 6 timeline cards. So that's not that much. I do have this really big binder here with all the timeline cards, but I don't bring that out. I just take out the cards, like I said, and that way there's a lot less on the table that I have to deal with. There's also a CD, a song CD that we use, and I have a player right behind our school desk, and the CD is usually just already in there, and I just play whatever song that they suggest. For example, here we're listening to 12 Sons of Jacob, and we also do a couple of other songs with the timelines, and I'll show you that in a second. So the other thing we need is a Bible. We use the Adventure Bible. This is the new revised international version of the Adventure Bible, and I've shown this a ton of times. We love this Bible. I love the wording here. It's easy for me to explain to the children what the Bible account is, And also, if you're concerned that it's dumbed down at all, don't be. It's not. I've checked with the King James Version, and I just wanted to make sure the content was all there, and it really is. So if your child is a little tender-hearted, there's definitely some rewording that has to happen, even in this Bible. I try to keep the spirit of what's being said, true to God's word, but I do sometimes have to change some things if there's just a lot of emphasis on killing and death and evil or things like that. I try to just reword that. Right now we are learning about Jacob and Joseph and the 12 brothers and Joseph's sort of relationship there and how he ends up in Egypt. And so there's a lot of things that happen with the brothers and the dynamic, with the word hate that happens a lot. I try not to skip over hate very much because it's a strong word for a reason. God doesn't want us to hate anyone, and I want that sort of spirit of the lesson to come through there. But I also don't want to continuously drive the point of hatred home, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm just going on a different path here. Back to this. So today's lesson. Okay. So today's lesson 6, we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to learn the basics, and that's what's right here. You're going to review beginner timeline numbers 3 through 5, and then you introduce 6. So like I was saying, this is my big binder of beginner timeline. I also have here on the back, this is the large summary cards. This doesn't come with the program I just mentioned, but I love these big cards because they go through all the books of the Bible and tell you what is in each book. So we still go through those, but not as part of this program. So here we have the first one. The first card, we're just talking about 2 parts of the Bible. What's the first part of the Bible called? The Old Testament. And what I love is the cute songs that they have. For example, for this, Who Created Everything, Sing Day 1. You have a CD, and I just pop it in, and we sing Day 1. And it's just, I just show them the card, and we just point to Day 1, God made light when there was none. And then there's one, a song for every number, which is really cute. They love that. And then 3, Adam and Eve. And then there is also a song that goes with that. They don't tell you to, do all the songs with the timeline cards, but I like to, and the kids love it. So if I forget to, they remind me. We just make sure we do that. So this is 4, Noah and the Ark, and then 5 was Name the 3 fathers who lived in tents. And then this is How many sons does Jacob have? So there's a song that actually names all the sons of Jacob. So we can just go over. And of course, Jacob has the red band on, so we know who Jacob is. And Joseph. So we do that. And then by lesson 7, we'll be learning this time card. So it's really well developed, and I like how we do all these and incorporate all these things. There's really an easy flow to this. I know I'm making it sound more complicated than it is, but it's super easy. You just take out your timeline cards in advance. You put one of these out for each child. You've got your crayons, markers, or colored pencils, your Bible, your song CD ready to go, and that is it. And you just read right off of here. Okay, so the next portion is Sing and Remember. So Sing and Remember is here. So here is basically where they have general memory work. They can do things like learn the book of the Bible or memorize a Bible verse. Then there's a song that relates to the lesson. Then you have a long and a short-term review question. These are review questions about details in the stories that we've already read. And pretty much that's it. And there's some visuals if you need to give them any visuals. Then there's the Get Active portion. The Get Active portion sometimes has a preparation. I don't generally do it. I feel like it's more for a classroom setting or for more than like your own children. I don't know. I just tend to generally skip it if it says something like set this up and give somebody a piece of candy and leave the other ones out, and then, you know, have this organic conversation about what just happened. I tend to leave that out, but I do incorporate the gist or the spirit of the message back in at the end. So that's what this is. It doesn't always have like that kind of prep. This one, it says before class, tape a piece of paper with a happy face drawn on it on the wall and a piece of paper with a sad face on the opposite wall. So, and then it tells you what to say. A wise person makes good choices that pleases God. If the person I tell you about is being wise, go stand by the happy face. If they are not being wise, go stand by the sad face. So this I'll definitely do. This is a fun activity that I can incorporate really easily. And then there's a story that goes along with it. Okay, so now you're going to flip it. After you get to this point here, you're going to flip it. And this is the Bible account here. So discover the Bible portion is when you're going to learn the Bible story. So this one is Joseph prepares for the famine, and it tells you Genesis chapter 41 verses 37 through 57, and then you go one by one. So you read the first section, and this is the box they look at here. Sorry, my battery is low. So this is the box they look at. So it actually just tells you what to do. Trace the number 2. There's more than that, but you just read it, and the children just follow along and do what they're supposed to do. And like I said, my kids color more extensively than what it asks for. And then we just go section by section. So there's 6 sections here in this one. So we do them all, and then we flip over again, and now we're gonna apply it. So that's what this coloring page here is. What's Maria doing? Is it wise for Maria to save money to help others? In the Bible story, what wise thing did Joseph do? So you ask some questions. Who made Joseph wise? How can you become wise? Name a thing that God can help you do and ask God to help you become wise. So they just color this, and they listen. So that is pretty much it. That is all we do, and that's Bible lesson. Like I said, this video is long-winded. It in no way takes this long to kind of walk through everything, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it consists of. So that's lesson 6. I can show you a lesson that we already did. So for example, that's how much coloring was in just lesson 1. Lesson 1. And depending on your child, it most likely will look different than this, obviously, because some kids like to color, some don't. For example, my daughter who doesn't love to color, and you know, my son who colors a little bit and then walks away, you know, things like that. So it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be, but it's just a nice way to do Bible, in my opinion. So the back of this, these are the student pages. This is for lessons 1 through 26. So each student would get like a package of these, so that they look like this basically. All the instructions are here, so you can understand what the timelines does and what the student pages require, and then you just tear these out, and each student gets one. So I have, for lessons 27 through 52, I have 3 of these packages for 3 of my children. Oops. Where's my other package? It's someplace here. So I should have 3 of these, so each child gets 1 of those. And then so on and so forth. Then there's another package. And you can decide how many you want. I have a full year's worth. And I believe it goes to lesson 104. And then each year you can do more and more until you've gone through the entire Bible, and that's the purpose of the program, is basically to read through the entire Bible together with your kids. So anyway, guys, that is it for me today. I hope this was helpful. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below, and I'll try my best to answer them more thoroughly. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please like and